What's up, everybody? Mr. Mill coming to ya from the Small Fry Show. On tonight's video, I want to talk about something that I seen on the internet and put it in perspective on why it's important. But before we get too deep in this thing, you already know what I need you to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Come join the family. Also, the views and topics expressed in these videos are mine and mine only. They do not represent the company that I work for. I am not a spokesperson for said company. Now that we got that out the way, happy Tuesday. Well, it's really Wednesday because it's about 12:32 in the morning, but you know. Hopefully everybody had a good day, having a good week, getting ready for the holidays. If you celebrate it, it's coming quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, something I seen that I want to talk about, and it really kind of hit home because I was never this type. Chaining up. And why they don't want you to wait it out on the side of the road. So I seen a video out in Truckee or Donner's Pass. It's all the same thing. They're right there, about 5 miles or so away from each other. The past couple of days, they got a significant amount of snow, like 2 or 3 feet up in the higher elevations. And they said that it was at some point it was even coming down like 2 or 3 inches per hour. So obviously they closed the highway. They can't keep up with it. But what's crazy was in the lower elevations they were getting a lot of rain. They had a lot of flooding in the lower elevations and snow up in the higher elevations. And they actually have an avalanche warning going on right now. So what they showed was trucks that had got into the chain up area. So these states will have areas before the hill where they have widened the road and they want you to chain up at, before you get up into where it gets really bad at. Same as coming down the hill. I'm smelling grease, man. I don't know if it's on my sleeve or what. Smells like grease that they put on the fifth wheels. The airlines from the dollies and stuff, they get grease on them really bad. So same as coming down, they'll have a spot where you can take your chains off at. So you can imagine getting 2 or 3 feet of snow. That's a lot. They had to close the roads. But they showed where guys had parked in the chain up area. And when they opened the road up, they got their chains on, but they were stuck. So when they were there trying to pull them out, and they were explaining why they don't want trucks to park there. And basically the reasoning was, hold on, before we get into that part. Up here to the left, the road's gonna curve, and we'll be facing it is a level 3 prison yard here in Ohio. When they classify the inmates, 1 is the lowest, you'll be in like a dorm. 2, 3 is your gang members, your people who fight and stuff, stabbing. 4, they got 4A and 4B. That's the people who stabbed or killed while they've been behind bars. And 5 is the worst. That would be like the Ohio State Penitentiary. So this prison yard to the left of us, which is Mansfield Correctional Institution, is a level 3 yard. So they are in cells, 2-man cells. You're more likely to have your fights, your stabbings, things like that. Somewhere you don't want to be. So, to drive by it and not be behind the bars or whatever, behind the wire, is something where you can, definitely count your blessings. But let's get back to the topic of this video. trucks were stuck in the chain up area, and they were explaining that, this is the reason why we don't want trucks to park in the chain up areas. It's because, one, it doesn't allow trucks who are trying to get up the hill while the road was open to get in there and chain up. And for two, that when those trucks try to get out, they will be stuck in that chain up area. And it was actually it was like I said, Downers Pass, California. It was a state vehicle that was trying to get these trucks. He had a chain, and he was trying to pull these trucks out from being stuck. And they were just saying like how time effective that is to be able to do that. Also, something else I saw was that tight little turn, that little curve. We made it though. Something else I saw was there were trucks climbing the hill that wasn't properly chained. Now, that area, they see so much snow that the state patrol vehicles are equipped. They have the Tahoes with the all-season tires, studded tires. They are equipped to help push the trucks up the highway. But if that happens and you have to get pushed up the highway because you didn't chain up properly, once you get to the top, you will get a ticket. You are getting a ticket. Understand that. So it's essential to know what they are asking for as far as what levels. Pay attention to the signs and things like that. In California is minimum. You need a chain on each outside tire of the drives and one on the trailer. When they go max, you need to chain up both trailers. And in that situation, they were max. So that is let's talk about chains. Chains are there to help you dig and climb, but they're also there. The importance of chains is to help you stop when you need to stop. I'm not sure if there's a law on socks, or cables. I believe you can do the cables. I've seen the socks. I've never used the socks or cables. I've used the chains. But like I was saying, it didn't bother me to chain up. Some guys don't want to do it. I get it. That's your choice, your company's choice. Whatever y'all come up with, that's what y'all come up with. The bad part of that is that's the way of life out west this time of year. So, you don't want to chain every storm. You're going to, sit maybe a day or so. You can lose a day. Now, if you're okay with that, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with waiting it out, and there's nothing wrong with chaining and going if that's what you're comfortable with. I see a lot of comments that people are if you don't chain up, you're not a real truck driver. And then if you do chain up and go, oh, you think you're better, you're show off and all that. Man, you guys got to get out of that mindset, because we're all out here to do a job as safely as we can be. As long as you feel safe and comfortable, you ain't out there hot riding in the way and 60 mile an hour and the roads are covered. Have at it, man. As long as you got the proper chains and bungees. And I see where they have the spider bungees. That I actually ran the spider bungees. And going through this little detour because the ramp was closed where we needed to get on that. And it's hot in here. I got this heat drink. The spider bungees worked out good. I still kept a couple spare, just regular bungees to hold the chains snug. I've heard people say you don't need the bungees, some do. I believe that's what holds them snug. And if you don't have the bungees, they're going to be sloppy on your tires. They're not going to do what they need to do. And you don't want to lose a chain and have it wrap around your axle or something. You got to come out have somebody come out and get it cut off. You don't want that. So keep you a couple extra pairs of bungee straps, gloves, boots, because you're gonna need it when it's cold and snowing and you're out there trying to chain. At the beginning of the winter, I always got my chains out, laid them out as if, how they need to be draped over the tire. Make sure that nothing was kinked, none of my links were broken or anything like that. And I kind of would lay them in the rack like that. That way, when it was time to chain, I was ready. Practice. If you're not good at it, practice. If you're running in an area where you're gonna need chains, practice. And when that time comes, you got to make that that decision on if you are comfortable with it or not. But until then, practice chaining, practice putting them on, practice taking them off, practice making sure they're snug. Make sure the cams are turned down and not inward, because if they're inward, you start going, they're gonna bust your tire. The cams and the knuckles need to be out. Need to not be where they're gonna puncture the tire. There's some videos on YouTube, and I'll find them and share them so you guys can see them. If you're not running out there, it's not going to matter to you. But if you're running where it snows a lot, you need chains. Colorado, California, Washington, the western part of Wyoming, Park City there, going into Salt Lake City. Parts of Utah. You go out where Idaho, where you might need chains. Parts of Montana, those western states where the mountains are there. And if you only been chugging on the East Coast, the Midwest, these little 6% grades out here ain't nothing to the 10s and 12s you're gonna see when you get out west. You want to be as prepared as you can be. It may be intimidating at first. I saw a video on YouTube, and it was a young lady that was in training, and they didn't chain up where they should have, and they went on down the road, and then eventually they saw the lights, and they stopped on the shoulder to chain. So what that does is puts you in harm's way. It puts you in harm's way. It puts the traffic in harm's way. And I commented on it, and I said, this is why they want you to chain in the chain up area, because you're risking your life right now. If somebody slides into you when you had enough room back there, she commented, and I know what I'm doing, this and that, it's all right. And she said, but nothing happened. That's what she said. Nothing happened. Okay? Nothing happened this time. But as long as you have that mindset, you're a rookie and you're in training. I've got almost 15 years. I don't know everything, but I know a little something. And I'm saying, hey, this is why they make those chain up areas, so you don't have to be on the edge of the road like that. Well, nothing happened. Okay, you cannot have that mindset out here. That's how people get hurt. That's how people get killed. Guys, I don't know if you saw the article. A guy was out in Colorado, Interstate 70, west of Denver, Vail, out in the mountains. He lost his brakes, and he didn't take the runaway ramp that he should have. I got a video on here about runaway ramps. He didn't take it when he should have. Lost control of his vehicle, killed 4 people, and just today they sentenced him to 110 years in prison. 110 years. He's never getting out. Safety is important. It'll cost you your life, and it'll cost you your time. Whether you die or whether you go to prison, it's going to cost you in the end. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So make sure you got what you need. Ask questions. That's why I created this safe place, so you can ask questions. And if I don't know, I'll find out. I'll point you to the right direction. There's people who still comment on my tanker videos. I don't even drive tanker no more. And they ask about Prime and other companies. And I give them the information of people who I know is on YouTube who work for them companies. Because I want you to get the best information you have. If I can't give it to you, I want you to be able to get it. So I'm like, hey, go check this person's page out. They work for them, or they have this video, or whatever that looks like. That way you can be as safe as you can be and get the best judgment and decision and all that. That's the purpose of this channel. Man, somebody hit a deer right there. I got a video on here. This is the same area. That's exit right there. I hit a deer back in May. I hit a deer right there. So yeah, that's why I want to create this safe place. So we're gonna bring this video to a close. As always, make sure you arrive to your pickup and your delivery on time and safely. Call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Love on somebody today. But most importantly, be the reason that somebody smiles today. The world needs it now more than ever. It's Sir Mel coming to you from the one and only Small Fry Show, and I'm out. Peace.